Hey, what's good? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Lionheart from Lion Dan Gaming, and today I have some more NBA 2K19 gameplay for you. So if you like today's video, definitely feel free to hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell so you know when I'm coming up with more. You got any comments, suggestions, anything like that, definitely feel free to drop those down below in my comment section, because all that's appreciated to me and my channel. Once again, it's your boy Lionheart from Lion Dan Gaming. Enjoy the video, and I'm out of here. Peace.
The Pelicans come into a Western Conference contest in this game. Good evening and welcome to tonight's presentation of Noche la NBA, an annual tradition in the NBA celebrating diversity and culture, and always a pleasure to bring it to you. With Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke. And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sideline.
Well, guys, there's a lot of talk.
Fantastic stuff, David. Thank you as always. And we saw the same "is he a rookie" debate with Simmons and Mitchell.
And to be honest, I'm still a little torn on AI qualifying as a rookie or not, but one thing that isn't for debate is whether his play has been good enough, as he has been incredible.
Ready?
Both sides will try and push it on the fast break doors to get easy scores. Talk a bit about Dennis Smith. He's checked in for the Mavericks. The Pelicans also changing it up. Mirotic comes in for Davis, and it's Brown in for Ian Clark. Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. Mirotic out there with Julius Randle. Then there's Hill. Then there's Brown. And it's Payton in at the one spot.
I think Elfrid Payton has exciting potential. He's got unbelievable defensive instincts and work habits. He just needs to develop a little bit more on the offensive end.
Back to Brown. He kicks it to Randle. Payton passes to Brown. 6 to shoot. Right side, Mirotic. Over Nowitzki, and he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops.
You know, that's inside-out basketball. Just pass out of the post to set up the jumper.
Barnes outside. To the middle, and DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
And any lob to Jordan is about as sure a thing as you can get. So athletic for a big with tremendous hands, and big fella knows how to get in prime position for those alley-oop feeds.
Brown, good.
And I doubt more than a handful of experts would have put AI on their Rookie of the Year radar at the start of the season. But you simply can't deny the change he's made for his team.
AI wasn't getting much consideration at all when the season began, but he has forced his way, Greg, into the conversation with his play. He seems to get stronger each game. And here, late in the season, a good time now to follow up on our Rookie of the Year race. Which young players have separated themselves as the best of the bunch? Well, you look at Brown. He's just not quite in the running at this point, and while he's had a pretty good season, it doesn't look like he'll be a contender.
And you can't give him anything but major credit for what he's been able to do here in his rookie season.
Well, listen, you guys know how hard it is to predict how a guy will handle his first year. But now, with almost a full season behind us, we can say he's shown a ton of character this year.
To the inside. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
Well, just tremendous awareness from Dennis Smith Jr. Recognizing a teammate is open, let me make the game easy for him.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Measuring, he's checked in for Jordan. Dwight Powell comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And it's Matthews in for Harrison Barnes. Brown down low, covered by Smith. Brown, good. And the Pelicans lead by 6.
Boy, you gotta appreciate the move. I know I did. Going to the finger roll to get the ball over the D.
They get the rebound. Powell, and the dunk by Powell.
I'll tell you, Kevin, you have to love the intensity that Powell plays with on the glass, using that long body to track down those offensive boards.
Brown kicks to O'Quinn. Powell pulls it in.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
Smith dishes to Matthews. Back to Smith. This one for three. And it's O'Quinn with the rebound.
Boy, for a capable three-point shooter, that's one he expects to make.
Inside. Here's Okafor. The shot's good. Brown making the play.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Looking at the last game for the New Orleans Pelicans, it was a win against Phoenix. Smith finds Mesri. Brown against Smith. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. Smith's got his first bucket of the night.
And I like seeing that Smith Jr. has a strong sense for when to shoot the mid-range.
Here's Matthews. That shot is off. Now New Orleans will take it the other way. Their last encounter was in New Orleans.
And they really squeaked out a close one in that last matchup. Came down to just a few turnovers that gave them the margin of victory.
See, Kyle O'Quinn, to me, gets better every year. How about the development of that interior game? Nice.
Brown against Smith. Pulls from the top of the key. That one a little long.
Well, despite his struggles from the field in this period, you know he's going to keep asking for the basketball.
Left side, Mirotic. Brown the pass to Okafor. Shoots over Mesri. It's tipped. Here's Smith. Scores for only the second time tonight. Now 2 for 6 from the field.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Boy, just a step quicker than the defense, really. Catching them off guard and capitalizing well.
Out of bounds, Pelicans ball as New Orleans keeps possession. With a break in the action, let's take a peek at the top rebounding teams in the NBA this season. The Mavericks, #1.
They are tenacious when it comes to attacking the backboard. Physical, smart, and determined. No surprise to see them at the top of the ranking.
I think when you talk about the Dallas Mavericks, it's not hard to think about the ownership. Driven, intelligent, committed, and the team has embodied those traits.
Here's the lob to the hoop. Easy jumper from very short distance. Smith's got 6.
Working on his interior game, Smith Jr. is very aware he has what it takes to score from there.
Down it goes for his third basket in as many tries.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Now here's Doncic, covered by Mirotic. Smith against Brown, right at the free throw line. Here's Mesri, makes it off the glass. Mesri's got his first 2 points.
I'll tell you, this guy does some tough work on the glass, battles as hard as anybody for those second chance opportunities.
Brown inside, working on Smith. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Looking here at some numbers for Smith, he's had an impressive second half of the season, averaging 21 points per game, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. He has been terrific throughout, putting up some huge numbers offensively.
Well, and this is exactly who he is, a flat-out scoring machine. You plug him in and let him go to work.
Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Jahlil Okafor. And Smith gets double-teamed. Doncic. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. 9 points for Luka Doncic.
You know, I like how he's getting involved in the offense. He's picking his spots and making his shot attempts count.
Brown kicks to O'Quinn. Unloads from 13. It's rebounded by Dallas. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And here's Matthews from the arc. That shot missing.
That's nice technique on the glass. You know, you leverage your position and your size to pull that in.
Miller, the pass to Brown. New Orleans moving it around. Mavericks with the rebound. Powell's got his 4th rebound in this one. That's a 2 from Matthews. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Pelicans ahead, up by 1. We caught up with AI to talk about his chances of being named Rookie of the Year.
I honestly feel like the race is still wide open right now. All the other rookies have had great seasons, but we've all had a bit of struggles at the same time. So really, I think that whoever shows up in the next few weeks is going to be deemed the front runner, but it's still a race that's going to come down to the wire.
And you know what, GA? AI is absolutely right when he says this will be a close race.
It's just too much talent in this class for it not to be. If AI keeps playing the way he is, there's a good chance he separates himself from the rest of the pack.
Welcome back to Noche Latina, celebrating the Latin culture and their love for the game of basketball. It just keeps growing. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from New Orleans?
Listen, early on taking the league, I just like their approach offensively.
I think their play calling has been exceptional. They've played with purpose and they've played with aggressiveness.
J.J. Barea is out there with Smith. Then there's Measuring. Then there's Dwight Powell. And it's Matthews in at the small forward. So that's who Dallas starts the second with. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, the Mavericks were ecstatic when Dennis Smith Jr. fell to them with the 9th pick of the 2017 draft. For a team in need of athleticism and size at the point guard, it's been a hand-in-glove fit. The 6'3" Smith has a 48-inch vertical, one of the highest ever measured.
A terrific young player, an elite NBA athlete. David, that's for sure. Good stuff, thanks. And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. Davis has checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. Here's Brown. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Well, he's one of those guys who's kept their offense clicking. They're in front thanks in no small part to what this guy's done.
This is his second trip to the line in this one.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
With the analysis, the defensive impact becoming more advanced, Doris, do you think that helps defenders gain recognition even when they're not putting up numbers in individual statistical categories?
Well, think about a recent winner of the Defensive Player of the Year, and that's Draymond Green, whose value becomes into sharp focus, particularly in the fourth quarter of games. When it becomes a possession ball game and Draymond Green is flying around the floor in help defensive position, covering up for teammates' mistakes, I absolutely think, Kevin, increasingly because of the advanced metrics, that players can be defined outside of points and rebounds. So I love the impact of the numbers.
New Orleans leading by 4. To the paint, here's Davis. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Brown's got his 6th assist on the night.
If there's a list of the best inside scorers in the NBA, Davis has got to be right at the top. When he gets his hands on the ball down low, you might as well just count it.
And Matthews kicks to Smith. Shot clock at 6. Puts up a 3. Anthony Davis grabs the miss.
Boy, the way he's been going, he is not going to be the guy to turn this around.
Shots good by Miller.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Mavericks trail by 8. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Barea.
Looking here at some numbers for Brown.
Since the break, he's come back strong, really making his presence felt. 2nd in assists, and he's in the top 20 in steals, bringing that focus and intensity at both ends.
And going back to him being 2nd in assists, it's his ability to control the pace of the game, his peripheral vision. That makes him such a great floor leader. And here we go, the Mavericks on a fast break. Here's Barea. No good off the back of the rim. Pelicans leading by 8. Brown inside. Guarded by Powell. Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession. Let's quickly take a look at the standings out west. The season nearly complete. Take a look at the Mavericks. Right now they're on the outside looking in at the playoff seeds. And checking out New Orleans. 3 spots below.
And I think for New Orleans, their season has been exactly the kind of misadventure their fans were afraid it might be.
And with the major changes we know are coming, now you have players fighting for their jobs, trying to prove they deserve to be here beyond the end of this season.
Brown kicks to Ajinça. And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. And some changes here for the Mavericks. Jordan comes in for Measure, and it's Barnes in for Matthews. And the Pelicans also making a change. Hill, he's checked in for Darius Miller.
Well, it's not the defense that caused that miss. That one's all on him.
Shoots from 12. Hill pulls it in. Hill's got 4 rebounds in this game. Left side, Davis. Powell with the steal. And Smith with a clear path to the hoop. Finished off the break. Smith's got 15.
I tell you, get the feeling he's only going to get better as this game wears on. That first quarter was good. His second quarter has been great.
Here's Davis. Plays it up and banks it in. And the Pelicans lead by 6.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
It's stolen by Davis. Ajinça in the post. He's against Jordan. Count that bucket. Ajinça's got the lead up to 8 now for New Orleans.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Bounce pass Perea. Lobs it up for Jordan. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
And hard to decide which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Oh, there's no wrong answer. Sensational alley-oop. Here's Perea. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. And now just a 4-point Pelican lead. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for the New Orleans Pelicans. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
And guys, they just got so many good looks in that one, and the defense never able to affect their offensive rhythm.
Well, I think the defense from the other team was simply porous. There's no other way to put it. So many openings, and they made them pay for it.
It's hard to believe that he's a point guard. I mean, he can power those dunks down as well as any big man in the league.
If not better. He's a phenomenal finisher.
And obviously makes him very difficult to defend because he can fly right over you.
Just great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and then trigger the fast break.
The pass to Ajinça and stolen by Jordan. And pushing it up is Dallas. The Mavericks again in transition. A nice shot by Perea. Perea's got it all tied up now for the Mavs.
Well, 6 of their last 10 points coming off the fast break.
Brown dishes to Clark. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
I mean, he is tearing the defense apart, and let's face it, they have not brought their A game on that side of the ball.
Pelicans shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one. Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Powell, and Doncic is subbed in for Smith. New Orleans also making some changes. Randall comes in for Alexis Ajinça, and it's Elfrid Payton in for Ian Clark. Doncic with it. Now Payton defending. Perea against Brown. 13 feet away. Jordan controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Now here's Brown. Defense is right there. Davis inside, defended by Nowitzki, and Davis can't get it to go. Dallas has gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Now here's Doncic. He's covered by Brown. Nobody near Barnes. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. And it's the Pelicans with the ball. New Orleans in the lead. And DeAndre Jordan, the all-time leader in career field goal percentage, Greg, by a sizable margin.
Yeah, the most prolific dunker in the league, maybe in league history.
Randall with the bucket. The Mavericks shooting 47% from the floor, getting it done. To the paint. And the dunk by Doncic.
Has the vertical needed to dunk it. Doncic showing off the power and flair that he possesses.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. So much of being a scorer is finding ways to get open without the ball, Doris, and there are a lot of guys that do that very well in the league right now.
Well, you think back to guys like Ray Allen, who have retired in the last 5 to 6 years. He was one of the all-time bests. You think back to the Detroit Pistons teams and Rip Hamilton. They set the stage for today's generation. Guys like Klay Thompson and Kyle Korver, who are relentless in their motion and sometimes do it randomly. Outside of the context of the offense, they're just, because they've done it so often, the kind of movement they create puts tremendous stress on your defense.
And Insanity picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Mavericks trailer. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hi, Kevin. Well, Insanity in their last outing against the Suns was a driven man. He finished with 24 points and seemed to be playing in slow motion with a huge number of assists. A very solid stat line for him in what was a terrific outing. And you know he wants to keep the momentum going, Kevin.
Thanks, David. It was a performance that not many players are capable of.
I know I won't forget it for a while, and you have to think he'll keep it rolling here tonight. When you're that hot, it takes a while to cool down.
I think that's the kind of game that carries over, and he'll have every chance to do it because I've got to believe he's their #1 option.
Got it. Number 7 on the night. 7 for 11 from the floor.
Boy, this guy has been transcendent this quarter. Something really lit a fire underneath this guy.
Payton against Barea. Davis with the double team. Barea kicks to Nowitzki. Good, and it's Barea who picks up the assist. Barea's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. And so Payton will bring it up for the New Orleans Pelicans. They get to take on the Magic at Orlando after this one. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Randall passes to Brown. Clock at 6. Pass to Davis. Score the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
And how about the excellent court vision? Just keeping the defense off balance.
I'll tell you, Greg, his passing has been absolutely outstanding. He is threading the needle right now. What a phenomenal quarter from the field. A great shooting percentage, excellent shots. This is really well done.
And here's Barea. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Cleveland.
And his passing was simply amazing. A lot of fun to watch.
On the wing, Hill. Left side, Brown. Payton kicks to Brown. Back to Payton. It's Brown on the wing. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. Davis, a tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Davis has got 10.
Well, there is clearly a size mismatch, and from the mid-range, there's no way that shot's going to be blocked.
They get the rebound, and Doncic gets it to go. Doncic has got the game tied up here for Dallas.
And you want more of this from Doncic. He's good at reading shot trajectories. Love his aggressiveness.
Randall with the bucket.
Check out that assist. You can tell a player who's seeing the whole floor very well.
Barea kicks to Doncic. Over Davis. Doncic, no good.
Just a little hesitation on that release, right? His timing looked a bit off.
Now here's Brown. He's covered closely. With some arc. The putback. Davis on the follow. Davis has got 12 now in this quarter.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And so here is Dallas, trailing by 4. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
And their defense practically non-existent in that one. Just gave up far too many easy shots.
You could say they certainly were not on a string.
And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Pelicans lead by 5. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Well, you've been off to a really great start, especially in your first season. At what point do you start thinking about Rookie of the Year?
Well, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't thinking about it. I mean, that'd be amazing. But more importantly, DA, my teammates have made things so easy for me. You know, they supported me, made me feel like I was part of this team since day one. You know, and I really wouldn't have gotten out of this kind of start if it wasn't for them. So, you know, they're the real ones.
Well, we've heard people talk about selflessness with you, and now we see it in action. Guys?
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both. And some changes here for the Mavericks. Powell, he's checked in for Nowitzki. And it's Dennis Smith in for J.J. Barea. And New Orleans also making a change. Brown's checked in. Back to Randall. That one is good again. He's 6 for 8 from the floor with the basket. And so here is Dallas. They lead by 4. And one thing Rick Carlisle is known for is his accountability.
Right, and that extends to himself as much as it does the players who play for him. Listen, if this guy makes the wrong play call, he is going to make sure you know about that. And I think that's an approach you see from the top down in this organization.
Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. Down low, it's Randall and Davis. Brown out there with Ian Clark, and it's Hill in at the 3. Wesley Matthews checked in for Smith. Mirotic is checked in for New Orleans. And Brown drops them both. Mavericks leading by 4. Doncic with it. And he has 28 points for the game. Lets it go from deep. Another 3 for Dallas.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
Brown kicks to Randall. Back to Brown. Here's Davis. The dunk and the foul. A powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line.
Shooting one.
It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan.
Just so resourceful as a player. Davis gets the job done inside in all sorts of ways, and that's one of them right there, crashing the offensive glass, getting that second chance bucket.
Measury, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for New Orleans. Darius Miller comes in for Ian Clark. Matthews, no one around him, offline with his 3.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously cold right now, but he's trying to find that rhythm. You've got to keep working.
You love it when a big man has those soft hands. Rarely any problem converting that close to the rim.
Powell dishes to Doncic. Barnes looking around. Over in the corner, Doncic. Wide open shot is on the money. Doncic has got 33.
Boy, what has gotten into him? He's taken his game to an unreal level this quarter.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
Well, there's no doubt this guy's on a hot streak right now. That's why he keeps getting the ball in this one. They're like, hey, we're going to feed the hot hand.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball.
Mirotic passes to Brown. New Orleans moving the ball around. Down low. That's good from Barnes on the assist by Matthews. Barnes has got the lead up to 7 now for Dallas.
That's just terrific job by Barnes. In full attack mode, dominating that area of the paint. Go to work, Harrison.
And it's Miller in the corner. Passes it to Davis. To the middle. Round kicks to Ajinça. At the top of the key, Mirotic. Shot clock at 5. Good. Mirotic has got 8 points. Dallas leading by 5. Here's Doncic, and they pick up 2.
And when you want Doncic, he's one of those guys who kind of just slithers around until he finds an opening, and then bam.
Round kicks to Davis. Trying to find Ajinça. Gets it to him.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
And if you can blame.
That's good from Barnes.
The 7th overall selection back in 2012. Barnes was taken 1 pick after Dame Lillard. 2 picks before Andre Drummond. Incredible draft class.
Here's Brown. Barnes grabs the miss. Out to Smith for the 3. Good on the triple.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Knocking down triples repeatedly. The defense starting to look helpless at this point.
So we see the Pelicans get the win here. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't